Have you ever really stopped to think about what it takes to become a doctor today? Because I guarantee you it's not what you see on TV. We're about to dive into a process that's become so intense, so highly engineered, that it's almost a different profession than it was just a generation ago. And we're going to find out why that change was not just a good idea, but absolutely necessary.
You've probably heard the old mantra, right? See one, do one, teach one. Well, that's gone. It just doesn't fly in surgery anymore, and for good reason. The whole romantic idea of a young surgeon learning as they go, yeah, that's over. Modern medicine is just way too complex, and the stakes are way, way too high. We're in a new era, and it demands a completely different way of training.
So, what's driving this massive shift? To put it simply, the entire system is under an incredible amount of pressure. The challenges facing medicine today are so big, they're forcing everyone to completely rethink how we get our doctors ready for the front lines. This challenge is so complicated that experts actually call it a wicked problem. And no, that doesn't mean it's evil. It means it's an issue with no easy fix. I mean, think about it. What does better training even mean? Is it more hours in the operating room? More supervision? It's a moving target, and it's all tangled up with things like doctor burnout and new working hour rules. Every time you try to fix one thing, it sends ripples across the entire system.
And you know, this crisis isn't just about the doctors. It affects us, the patients. We're living in an age of what you could call passive medicine. Our visits are short, they're focused on a quick diagnosis and treatment, and we often end up taking a back seat, just becoming passive recipients of care, instead of being active partners in our own health.
So how in the world does the system respond to these wicked problems? Well, it responds with a blueprint. Seriously. To create consistency and quality, medical training has become this highly structured, almost architectural process. We are now quite literally building surgeons from the ground up. And the core building blocks of this whole new model? They're called capabilities in practice, or SIPs for short. You can forget just memorizing facts from a textbook. Today's training is all about mastering specific, high-level tasks. Each one of these SIPs is a critical piece of the puzzle that makes a consultant.
And right here, you can actually see that blueprint we've been talking about. This diagram shows exactly how all that fundamental knowledge and all those professional skills are methodically pieced together to form those 5 core SIPs. It is an incredibly detailed approach, and it's all designed to produce a competent, well-rounded surgeon every single time. No guesswork.
So how does a trainee actually use this blueprint? Well, they move through these 5 distinct levels of supervision. This isn't random. It's a very clear, standardized journey. It makes sure every single trainee moves safely from just watching a procedure to eventually being trusted to perform at or even beyond the level of a seasoned consultant.
But let's be real. A blueprint is useless without builders, right? This whole rigid structure is held up by a deeply human element that is just absolutely essential for it to work. And that's the power of mentorship.
Now, it's really helpful to know the difference between mentoring and coaching. Coaching is usually about tackling a specific short-term goal, like running a marathon. Mentorship, well, that's a long-term relationship. It's about having a trusted guide to help you navigate the huge, complex journey of a whole career, sharing wisdom and experience every step of the way.
And the benefits here are just huge. I mean, mentorship directly fights that burnout we were talking about by reducing stress and boosting confidence. It helps doctors grow and adapt, which in turn helps hospitals keep them around. And at the end of the day, a supported doctor is a better doctor, and that's a win for everybody.
Okay, so we've looked at the crisis, the blueprint, and the human support system holding it all together. But underneath all of this, there's a really profound philosophical shift happening that completely redefines the very purpose of being a doctor.
It all starts with a super simple question, one we almost never stop to ask ourselves. What does the word doctor really mean? Because the answer, well, it changes everything.
The word doctor comes straight from the Latin verb doceo, and doceo means to teach. That's not just a fun little piece of trivia. It completely reframes the entire doctor-patient relationship. A doctor's main job isn't just to treat us, but to teach us.
And that one idea has incredible power. When a doctor acts as a teacher, it's like that old saying. They aren't just giving you a fish, they're teaching you how to fish. They're empowering you to take real, meaningful control of your own health.
Okay, so let's pull all of these threads together. We've got a system in crisis, we have a super complex new way of training doctors, and we have a return to this foundational idea of the doctor as a teacher. This all points to a powerful new way of thinking.
So when you look at this whole incredibly rigorous, competency-based system, with all its blueprints and its mentorship and its constant evaluation, you start to realize that its true purpose is,
It isn't just to build a technically brilliant surgeon. The ultimate goal, the whole point of this entire massive effort, is to create a doctor who can transform their patient from being a passive recipient of medicine into an educated, empowered, and active participant in their own well-being.
And that leaves us with one last, really crucial question. If the role of the doctor is truly to be a teacher, then what does that ask of us? What's our role as patients in our own journey to better health?